guys, it's Rich with another Tarot Talk Tuesday. In this video, we are doing the Night Sun Tarot review and reveal. So, I've already taken the cards out because I started this video and did not have my mic on, which, you know what, by now I should know better. So let me get the cards over here. Let me get the box over here. Little flip-top box. I don't know if this comes in a kit version. It is by Fabio Linstrani in 2014, produced by Lo Scarabeo. I love Lo Scarabeo decks. Actually, I should probably show you the front of the deck, or the front of the box. This is the deck version. I don't know if it comes in a kit version. One thing on the detail aspect that I really like is that it has the alpha and omega right here. I think that's kind of cool that they went into that extra little detail rather than just making it all black. So, anyway, kind of like that. I do like Lo Scarabeo decks. I think they are nicely done. I really like their artwork. But in this one, I don't like that it has a little white book. I really wish it had a kit version, at least from where I got it from. They did not. So, wish they did, but they didn't. But, hey, little white book, a little bit about it. It has 15 pages and one spread in English. The other ones are for other languages. You know, typical Lo Scarabeo type of booklet. So, one thing I do like about it is that for each one of the major arcana cards, it gives a it gives an element, it gives the Hebrew letter, and it also actually gives a little excerpt or a little question that you can journal on in your tarot journal if you keep one. I don't keep one. I probably should, but it also gives a little blurb of what the card means. So I'm just going to go by the full here. It says the full, water, aleph, which is the element and the Hebrew letter that associates with the full. It says energy, carefreeness, news, madness, travel, chaos, freedom, escape, intuition, impulsiveness, indecision, hesitation, gesture, incoherency, delirium, and then it goes into the question that you can journal on. What must I free myself of while traveling along my path so I can channel my energies more effectively? I really like that they give a little question for each one of the majors. I really kind of wish they would have done that for the minors, but you know what? You can only ask for so much. So yeah, I kind of like that. And then they give, let's see, for the minor arcana, they have chalices, pentacles, wands, and swords. And then they give a little numerology lesson in there. And then it explains the spread that they give, the Trident of Shiva. So, kind of liking that, little spread. I don't think it's one I've seen before. If it is, then I don't remember. So, anyway, let me go ahead and flip you guys down. I want to try to make these a little bit quicker of videos for you. So, yeah, you're not sitting there for a half an hour looking through a deck of cards. Anyway, not that anything's wrong with that. But, yeah, I have a lot of deck reviews to do. And I really want to get working with these decks. So, yeah. Until I do a review of them, I don't actually start working with them. At least now, that's the way it is. But anyway, I'm rambling. Let's bring you down into the nether regions here, and let's continue with the actual review and reveal. So, okay, so a little bit about the cards, first of all. They are fairly sturdy cards. I have no complaints about the card stock. They have a matte finish. Little thickness comparison here. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith. And this is the Night Sun Tarot. They're a little bit, just a tiny bit thicker than the Rider-Waite-Smith by US Games. So I do like the thickness of the cardstock. Much appreciated. The dimensions on it, they're a little bit more narrow than the Rider-Waite-Smith. And you know what? Not too much more narrow, and I kind of like that. These can go borderless. They're fairly easy to go borderless. They have a border along here that you can follow along with. So yeah, they can definitely go borderless. They are not reversible on the back. Whoops, as I have one jump over here. They are not reversible on the back, so if you like to read reversals and you are one that looks at the back of the cards, this might pose a problem for you. Yeah, I guess it has a little bit of a gloss, but I would still consider that overall a fairly matte finish, probably a semi-gloss. But anyway, yeah, if you read reversals and you look at the back of the cards, might not be the deck for you. But I don't look at the back of the cards, so it's not a huge deal for me, but I know it's a big deal for some people. It is ethnically diverse, and both by the color of people's skin, but also culturally. I want to point that out. I want to read off my notes before I go too far into this, because I do want to read a little excerpt from the Little White Book to you guys while I flip through. It does give element associations and Hebrew letters for the major arcana, as I've already pointed out. First thing you get is a title card, so that can go over here. But for the minor arcana, it gives a planet and astrological association. So you have these little points up here that are different depending on whether it's a major or a minor. So anyway, let me go ahead and get into the flip through, and I'll also read to you the excerpt from pages 1 through 5 during this flip through. So let's go ahead. If the Jungian notion of shadow indicates mainly the dark side of our personality, it is then the task of a transversal light that travels along a different spectrum to illuminate and make it possible, in a language all its own, to access those areas of our mind that are complementary to the conscious self. A light emanated by an anomalous sun, nocturnal and dark, that enables us, with love and under the guidance of our most sincere will, to find the right balance, allowing the self to fulfill its own identity. The language of this non-light is expressed through the tarot thanks to its use of images, symbols, and analogies, capable of reflecting the world submerged in our subconscious. This approach is a tangent of psychoanalytical approach where, instead of teaching a code that is comprehensible to the consciousness, the language of intuition is used directly. The arcana that make up the night sun follow two fundamental streams to make this path of revelation through images more functional. The first stream is research. It exploits symbolic representations that draw inspiration from different cultures, both Oriental and Western, from tribalisms, Goethe, or sacred geometries, in a discourse of absolute cultural nomadism, aimed at finding the most efficient image that is also in harmony with the significance of each arcanum. For this reason, for the first time, death becomes pregnant. The world is represented as the Nataraja of the dancing Shiva, or the wheel finds its ideal form in the hexagrams of the I Ching. For the same reason, we can find a part of the small key of Solomon dedicated to the moon amidst the pages of the High Priestess's book, of which she is a reflection. Or we can see in the Seven of Pentacles a connection with the seven chakra of the human body. The second stream is holistic, organistic, like the stream made up of the sun and some planets that orbit around it in a strict relationship of equilibrium. Here the arcana are considered as a whole, strictly linked in communication with each other. This is the reason why, for example, the egg we find in the High Priestess gestating is found open on the emperor's gown, and at its height of development, the emperor's arm. For this reason, the scythe of the Grim Reaper, also called the Nameless Arcanum, recalls the mirrored reflection of the Fool's Wand, the Numberless Arcanum, like an echo that shares the same elementary energy. Using the Night Sun Tarot can be defined as a dark probe, a research tool that becomes as much a mirror of our personality as of archetypical and universal images, capable of communicating with a language that replaces the familiar letters and words of the conscious self with images, symbols, and metaphors. So that is the Night Sun Tarot. I do like the imagery in this overall. There are some cards in here that I'm not thrilled with, but I understand where they're going with this. Some of them are like the Four of Pentacles. I can understand that one a little bit. The Five of Pentacles, not really getting the down on your luck type of thing, but you know, the more and more I look at these, the more symbols and symbolism I can, sort of start taking away from it and start connecting with this deck a little bit more. I have not really delved into this deck because I wanted to do the review first. So let's see how it shuffles. Shuffles really good, really well. No complaints on the shuffling ability, the shuffle ability, I guess. Pretty smooth. Whoops, that's my fault. So anyway, yeah, kind of liking this deck. The Hermit, yeah, that's my guy. Kind of liking that. Very tribal, very kind of edgy. So really one that would have to be worked with a little bit more. I think this is going to be one that I really have to journal about and kind of delve into the images a little bit more. Like I said, I don't know if this comes in a kit version, but the little deck version only comes with this little white book. So yeah, not sure how much I'm going to, get from the little white book that is really going to help with connecting with this deck as much as if I actually had a companion book of sorts. So yeah, don't know if I'm going to get much information out of this compared to a companion book, but you know what? I'll try my best. I'll journal, and you know what? The amount of journaling that I would have to do on this deck, or that I will be doing on this deck, rather, will probably be better than any companion book that I get with this deck. Especially whenever I go on my little journaling tangents and all the little tiny pieces of symbolism that I find. So that's not to sound, boastful of my journaling capabilities, but that would be the way that I would connect with this deck even more. So that is the Night Sun Tarot in the deck form. Again, I don't know if it comes in a kit version. If it does, and you guys have the kit version, do let me know in the comments below. So not only I, but other people can also figure that out or find that out and get the kit version if that's something that they wish to purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this. First time I think I've done a voiceover during the reveals. So yeah, kind of odd of a deck reveal and review that, you know, since I've started doing this. So I hope that turned out okay. And yeah, that's all that I have to say in this video on the Night Sun Tarot. In the next video, I will be doing the Golden Tarot by Kate Black. So go ahead and join me next week for that. And yeah, until then, may you guys have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.